All right, guys, welcome back to these 15 essentials. Today we're going to be talking about number 3, and this is to speak properly and communicate well. This is really going to set up our children for success in God's kingdom because speaking properly and communicating well opens up all kinds of doors. It opens up doors in business. It opens up doors in relationships. I mean, think about it. In ministry, if you're going to share the gospel and share the truth with others, you need to be able to communicate well. Marriage, one of the biggest keys to a successful marriage is to communicate well. Raising up children, if parents don't know how to speak to their children, it's going to set them up for failure. And with our children right now, they need to know how to communicate to us. So communication is huge. It's something that we need to instill in our children, and it's really not that hard. There's really 2 things that I would encourage you as far as how to set your children up to be able to communicate well and speak properly. First of all, you speak to them the way that you think they should be speaking to others. So if you want your children to be able to engage in very good conversation, if you want them to speak properly and with respect, then you speak to them that way. And you initiate conversation with them. And it doesn't matter really what the topic is about. Obviously, you want to gear it towards topics that matter. But your children should be comfortable sitting down, or when you're in the car, just as you're doing life, whether it's around the meal table, speaking with mom and dad, speaking with their siblings, and knowing how to speak respectfully, and to look at the ideas of others and to consider them. And just these common principles of communication that really we're losing in today's society. You know, this is also teaching our children how to communicate with the opposite gender. There's things that it's appropriate for my boys to say or talk about with other boys, but it might not be appropriate to talk about with other girls. So we want them to respect people of the opposite sex. The other thing that I would encourage you to do that really sets up your children for success in this area is to get them around adults. And this is something that our society, for the first time since Adam and Eve, we are the first society, because of the false teachings of adolescence, which has its roots in Darwinian evolutionary philosophy. We are the first society to, in a big way, separate our youth from the adults, which logically makes no sense at all. It does not make sense in a Judeo-Christian worldview. So your kids' best friends, I mean, it's okay to have some peers that are friends, but they need to be friends with adults. And you need to get your boys around other men. And so it's dad, his sons, and other men, and the sons are coming in, and they don't necessarily at a young age partake in the conversation, but they are there witnessing the conversation, and they're learning how to speak as men. And then as they grow up more and more, they start to partake in those conversations, and it really grows them up. The way we do things today in our society stunts our children's growth. There are young 13-year-old boys I'll come up to and talk to, and they have no idea how to talk to an adult. They know how to text and they know how to message, but they don't know how to speak. This is an issue. Likewise with our daughters, we need to get them around godly women. So it's the daughters, it's mom, and it's other godly women, and they're speaking. And man, I know families who have done this. Their sons and daughters really come to maturity very, very early in life. So friends, once again, this is why this is one of the essentials. Because despite all the things that our world says our children need, this is one thing that they really do need. And if you can, and you can, but if you choose to, equip them with this amazing proficiency to speak and communicate well, and know how to show respect, and know how to have a conversation that is meaningful, you will greatly set them up for blessings for the rest of their life. So this is something that you can do, mom and dad, and let's do it for the glory of God. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next time.